Hello everyone, I'm Dave Nicholson. As most of you know me as Saga Dave. I'm here to present you with a wonderful um, champagne brunch that any Titan would enjoy. I hope I'm finding you all healthy and safe at home with your families and friends and your loved one. Okay,
All right.
we're going to get started with the first item. And usually you want to make sure that you're cooking the items so that they're all pretty much ready at the same time. And potatoes are probably going to take a little longer to cook than any of the other items. So we're going to start off with our potatoes.
Those are always the hardest.
Yeah.
Like getting everything to turn out at once, I'm terrible at that. I'm always like, let's put it in the microwave and let it sit there and hope it stays kind of warm and
Okay,
see how that goes.
We're going to start with a little medium heat. And we're going to take us a few tablespoons of our canola oil.
Not to skimp on it too, right? Because you really don't want it to stick to the pan.
Right, you don't want it to stick to the pan.
That
We
is
do
my
have a
biggest issue.
non-stick surface pan here. And we want that oil to get nice and hot. But once that oil is nice and hot, we're going to add our potatoes to that.
And so, as we were just talking about, you've been kind of all over the place then as it relates to your work experience, huh?
I have worked in many different areas for Sodexo. I've worked in Kansas, I've worked in Missouri, I've worked here in Illinois,
Right.
and I worked in Philadelphia just for a small, short visit.
And so you said that most of your experience has been with colleges, right?
All of them has been with colleges and universities, other than the one position that we were really just entering the position because they had workers that were on strike and they flew managers from all over the world to actually work at this huge hospital in
yeah.
Philadelphia.
Wow,
Matter of fact, it was the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
That was early in my career.
So was working in the college area kind of like something you were passionate about that you knew you wanted to do, or did you just sort of end up there?
I kind of like the college atmosphere simply because it helps keep me young.
I feel that.
It also gave me the time that I wanted to spend with family at the times that I wanted to do so. Like,
Oh, yeah.
during spring, you get a
Right.
week
Get a
off in
break.
spring.
Yeah,
You get
absolutely.
Thanksgiving off. You get Christmas off.
Absolutely.
All of those holidays that you spend with family, and I'm a big family person. There's nothing like family. And I am so thankful that coming to Illinois, that I was accepted by Wesleyan I felt just like it was family.
Yeah, you're
So
Wesleyan family.
It was
exactly.
great.
That's how I feel about Pride Alumni Community. They're my Wesleyan family in many ways. So
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some hash browns into that oil, some shredded hash browns. And yeah, our grease is nice and hot.
I was gonna say you could smell it getting kind of warm. Oh, that's great.
And we want those to get nice and brown for us. We're going to add some seasonings to that. We're going to add just a little garlic powder. Just a pinch. We're going to add a pinch of salt and pepper. We're going to add some onions to that. And just a little bit of sugar. Not a lot, but just a little bit.
That's a secret right there. I never
Yes.
would have thought.
My brother makes the best hash browns in the world. Everybody craves his hash browns.
So where did
And
you
this
learn?
is kind of his recipe.
Did you learn from your family?
Most of my experience of cooking, when I look back, comes from my mom. My mom is an excellent cook, and sitting down just in the kitchen with her, watching and learning. I've got higher education,
Yeah.
but none is in really food.
Right, I was gonna, because you had mentioned that you were, working at your alma mater, and then you kind of kept doing so. And so, were you a student worker for Sodexo?
I was never a student worker.
Okay.
I started off in management.
Right after. Okay. Absolutely. Well, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, and then you just kept going. So what was your degree in?
I have a degree in a bachelor's of science in criminal justice,
All right.
with a minor in hotel restaurant management.
So you kind of have a
Kind
little
of,
bit there
yeah.
at the end, but oh, that's very interesting and wonderful. So do you have any like interesting stories about your time? I just wonder. I'm sure you've seen so many.
I've seen
silly
so
things.
many interesting things here at Illinois Wesleyan,
I'm sure.
and so many great stories that I could talk about. Those that, just a few that kind of stick in my head was, I remember one year at commencement, we're out on the quad getting ready for commencement, and I'm listening to the commencement speech. And the president pops up and uses my name in the speech. I felt so excited.
Truly a celebrity.
That the president of the university is using me in his speech.
I love that.
That was a good point. And let's see, what are some other good ones? Maybe like a couple years ago, my birthday always falls around graduation weekend.
Oh,
and I was pretty much always busy working during my birthday. And one year, just so happened, senior dinner fell on my birthday, and if I'm not mistaken, it was President Wilson, and he announced that it was my birthday.
Oh,
and
love that.
The whole graduating class sang "Happy Birthday" to me, and that was a great feeling.
Yeah, I love that.
So I love that also.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, the next thing that we're going to work on is we're going to work on our French toast. To start off with the French toast, we've cut up some pineapple and some mango, and with the pineapple mango, we're going to do a quick compote, and that compote is going to consist of a simple syrup, and that simple syrup is simply sugar, water, and a little flavoring. I think our hash browns are getting ready to flip. Yeah, you want that golden brown look on your hash browns. Some people like their hash browns cooked lightly. I like the
Get them crispy.
the crispness from a hash brown. That's my favorite part. So I'm gonna let those cook. Next thing we're going to do is start off with our French toast. And with our French toast, we're going to take 3 whole eggs.
Now, would it be helpful?
We're going to add just a touch of cream of tartar.
So what does that do? I've never heard of that, so I'm excited to hear about that.
Cream of tartar just kind of fluffs egg products up, so
Okay.
it keeps your eggs nice and fluffy.
Fluffy.
Next
Because-
thing we're going to do is we're going to add a couple teaspoons of sugar. After our teaspoons of sugar, we're going to add about a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, you don't have to use vanilla extract. There are many different extracts that are out there. You could use vanilla, you could use almond, you could use, there's such a thing called rose water, and rose water in it gives it a delectable, nice little taste too, but it just helps flavor it up. And so we're going to whisk that really good. You can use just egg whites if you'd like.
For those
that
of you
all whisked
cholesterol
up.
conscious
Right.
or vegan, like they have that just egg stuff. I always like to think about my people with dietary restrictions.
We're going to add just a little milk to that also. Not a lot, maybe about 2 or 3 tablespoons. Then you just take the French toast. Oh, well, let's heat that up first. Get a little hot oil in there. Again, about a tablespoon of hot oil. Once it's nice and hot, you're then going to take your French toast.
It's simmering already.
Okay. We're going to soak another one of those. We don't want our hash browns to get too done. For our omelet, we are doing a Greek omelet, and so we want to start off with having, we're going to take that sausage and we're going to add a little fino to it.
French toast is getting like a crust around it. It's looking beautiful.
So we don't want to overcook our French toast either.
I thought you were gonna do a magical like in the pan flip.
We'll
Not
do that
today.
we'll do that with the omelet.
Okay, cool. I'm excited.
Okay. We then are going to take a little garlic and add a little garlic to that sausage. Kind of ensures that you get the taste of Greek. So we've got a little garlic, we've got a little fino in there, and we're going to add just a little oregano in there also. That's going to be our sausage for our omelet. And we're going to take a nice little bit and put that up. We're going to flip that French toast there.
Oh, there's lots of smells happening. It's very aromatic.
Yes. And now we're going to add those other veggies in. So we're going to add a few black olives. We're going to add a few mushroom. We're going to add a little more oregano. And we're going to also add some fresh basil in there.
Do you grow herbs at home?
I do. I have all the herbs that I just used, I have at home in my little garden. And once that sausage gets cooked up,
Starts to brown.
starts a light brown on it. After our spinach, we are going to then add our eggs. Crack us 3 more eggs. 1. 2. And 3. Try not to get any eggshells in there. That's nice and sauteed.
Yeah. What's the hardest part of cooking, in your opinion?
Just making sure you got the right ingredients. We're going to add a little more cream of tar into there, again, so it stays nice and fluffy. In that, we're going to add just a pinch of salt and pepper. Oh, we need some onions up in there also. Put a few onions in there. And a little more milk. And we're going to just pour that right over. Oh, doesn't that smell good?
Yes. It does smell very good.
Okay, now to me, the art of cooking an omelet is, first of all, to ensure that your pan's nice and hot. Make sure your vegetables have been sauteed quite a bit. And when you can make the whole omelet kind of dance in the pan, it's ready to be flipped. While we're waiting on that, we're going to take our peach and our mango, and we're going to take what we have, a simple syrup, which I've already prepared. I kind of told you with the simple syrup, it's just a little bit of sugar, a little water, and the flavoring that you add in. And like I said, that flavoring can be vanilla, it can be almond extract, It could be rose water. Good friend of mine taught me about rose water
Yeah, have some
from
of
the
my
Middle East.
And that's where I got it from, was a Middle Eastern grocery store.
Ah,
So I'm definitely gonna try that. So I never even thought of I put in lemonade before. That's pretty wonderful.
never thought of putting lemonade in it. Okay, and we're going to finish our omelet off. Once it's just about cooked well, we're going to add our feta cheese to it. You go all the way around your pan.
Oh,
See how it kind of dances in the pan? And when you've got it dancing in the pan, it's an easy flip. Now, a lot of people know me for my flipping of omelets.
Ooh, perfect.
Flip of the omelet. We're going to now add a little feta cheese.
Lovely.
It's going to be delicious.
Looks beautiful.
Okay. From that point, you don't want it to cook too much more. So our omelet is just about done. Bingo.
Beautiful. That's not user friendly at all. There you
Good enough. There we go. All right. And then we've got our hash browns here. And this is it's a pretty simple meal, quite easy to make. Our final topping on that is going to be our peach mango compote.
It's very summer.
Yes, it is.
Peaches are like perfectly in season right now.
I visited some friends in Florida a few months ago. I'm sorry, a year and a few months
Right,
ago,
surely.
which would have been last spring break, and they have a mango tree in their backyard,
Wow.
and big, beautiful mangoes. I mean, some of the best mangoes I've ever had came right out of Florida, and we're going to top that with a little heavy whipping cream, and voila!
Incredible. That's the hungry girl.
We have a Titan brunch fit for anyone. All right.
Anticipating that beautiful sound.
Papa.
Beautiful.
And with your mimosa, you want to tilt your glass and give your pour till it's just about at the rim.
Wow, that was expert. Do you do that a lot? Occasionally.
Occasionally. And we want to top that with a little orange juice. We're going to put a little more champagne in there. You want it about 3/4 full of champagne.
Remember, we don't play games.
And we're going to add a little fresh orange juice. And we're then going to top it off. Happy homecoming to all. Love you all. Please stay safe, healthy during these COVID times.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate having you do this. It looks delicious. These are delicious. And we appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Happy homecoming.
Go Titans.
Go Titans.